To Oliver in Cornwall now. Oliver.
Hi, Emily.
How are you doing?
I'm good. So I've been listening for a little while. There's been a couple of red herrings in this so far. A while ago, there was a consistent thing that's been brought up is that why are we denying Gary Lineker his free speech? He should be allowed to say what he wants to say. Now, I'm all for free speech, but this is about standards in public life where you have public-facing responsibilities. Gary Lineker is respected by people across the country for what he does, very good work that he does, children, young people, impressionable people. And when you're in positions like that, where you're public-facing, whether it be in politics or in the media, or if you're, say, a singer, a celebrity, you have certain responsibilities in order to just make sure you're not going too far in what you say so that people don't misinterpret it or be easily offended. Now, having said that, the main issue for me here, and I was kind of upset by one of your callers dismissing the 1930s Germany element of what he said, because this very easy and quick dismissal of the Holocaust and the horror that it was, that some people seem willing to do and willing to make comparisons very lightly to what is, let's face it, I mean, I have more relaxed views on immigration than most people, but even I would say this is really just the government putting forward its border policy on controlling who comes in and out of the country. I don't see anything in the bill or really anything in the rhetoric from the government which is any evidence of some sort of race baiting or getting people wound up. And so when Gary Lineker, who has this huge public role, is respected by many people, young people, people around the world, he has a responsibility not to bring up those old horrors.
So you think this is about... You think this is about the Holocaust element of the tweet, not about, because where the BBC is unhappy, it is about the political stance he took against the government.
Yeah. So the two aspects to what I'd say to that. One is my personal response. My personal objection to what has happened here is a comparison with the Holocaust. I don't think he should have said that. I think that should be apologised for.
Okay.
Now, when we come to the actual matter of the managerial element of the BBC, one thing that has to be kept in mind, and I spoke about public life, but it's even more significant when we talk about the BBC because it's the public broadcaster, funded for a system where if we don't pay it, we can have people knocking on our doors, it's enforceable, and it has political appointees on its board. As such, people who work for the BBC, and by the way, I do not buy for a minute, and I don't know why people keep on saying this without any scrutiny of it, he is not a freelancer. He is the highest paid celebrity at the BBC. Now, I know he's a freelancer because that works out well for his HMRC deal, which, may be a factor in all of this, by the way, because he's got a £4.9 million bill outstanding. But he is one of the biggest faces on the BBC, the highest paid. So saying he's freelance or in some way separate from the institution, I think just doesn't wash. He does represent the institution. If you're a public face of a public body, you represent that institution. So you have to be considerate, not silenced, not locked in a box, but you need to think carefully. And especially when it comes to matters of the Holocaust and what happened in history with that, I think you have to be particularly careful. I saw clips on the BBC last night from an interview with Gary, I think it was Ros Atkins on the BBC, where he said, every time I do a tweet, I think it was a couple of years ago, every time I do a tweet, I think about it twice. If I think in any way it could be misinterpreted, I don't tweet it. Now, if he'd stuck to that, I think he'd be good. You can express opinions. There's many people who work for the BBC in different roles, even news roles, who express opinions or at least a sort of feeling about things without making such a nasty and frankly inappropriate and actually just plain wrong comparison to the Holocaust.
Yes, but you see, I think, Oliver, you are more upset about what he said than a fact about the impartiality. And that's different. And that's about freedom of speech. That's about cancel culture. But totally taking your opinions on board here. But, the BBC, let's be clear, have taken him off air while they carry on discussing his right or not to express political opinions. You're listening to Emily Sheffield on LBC. It's just after 5:15. Give us a call 0345 60 973. Was the BBC right to take Lineker off air?
This is LBC.